Alrighty then, it's time for a Jungle Jarvan game. Let's get this show on the road. Which one? So, this is the last video of the season. And the best part is that I started this season with a Jungle Jarvan video, and I'm going to end it with a Jungle Jarvan video. And I know, the season ended yesterday, but you cut me some slack. Anyways, it's also kind of funny to mention that this came after a Vi game or my Vi video in which I said it was funny that people ever thought to say that Vi is just a better Jarvan. Ha ha ha. Anyways, I also need to mention that I'm a bit sick and it's causing me to have some shortness of breath. So if I speak a little odd at certain points, just keep that in mind. Anyways, my top laner got killed by a super aggro, recklessly aggro Darius. So it just makes Darius a very easy target to go for because once again, he's just getting, well, stupidly aggro. And guys, I know it's real cool and badass to, wreck your opponent and be all like, I can take it, I'll kill you before you kill me. But when you do so stupidly, you just make yourself a very easy target and you die. The Darius should have known I would have worked my way top lane and gotten him. So he died deservingly so. Anyways, the only other lane that's having any issues is my bottom lane, but that's mostly because they're pushing a lot and getting really aggro. So they're just going to die by Pyke and eventually Warwick too. Small spoiler. My mid lane is okay. They're just, throwing balls at each other. It's no big deal. Since Darius is getting super aggro still, I have to make sure to have some presence up there and, shove him away or make sure he doesn't get killed or my Nasus doesn't get killed. So I'm constantly having to gravitate top lane and not assist my bottom lane. But even then, without my ultimate, I can't really do very much to a lot of champions because, they're very hippity-skippity kind of champions. The best I can do is try to keep track of Warwick and keep Darius from killing the Nasus. Because both team comps are pretty strong come mid-late game. So whoever gets there first is just kind of going to dominate. At least that's the thing. EQ, Kassadin shoves over, he gets charmed, and we just slowly beat him to death. I have to tower dive, burning my flash, and getting super low health. And surprisingly, the Warwick doesn't even come by. But, sometimes it's pretty hard to combat. Anyways. Now back to clearing, I'll be able to get my ultimate and start slam dunking people. In this game, I'm actually going to be going more AD-centric, less tanky or less bruisery. Well, I'll be partially bruiser, but still. I mostly have to be able to kill somebody important, or at least pierce through the enemy team, and hope the rest of my team cleans the rest of them up, which isn't that hard. My team is pretty high damage. Anyways, though, we're also pretty lucky that the Darius is just kind of, well, I'm going to just say dumb. He should know that there was something up because I cleared this ward, and then the Nasus, however he was playing, kind of makes it obvious. But he's just a super aggro. You can't stop it. As soon as he pulls Nasus in, that's my sign to, attack him. I go in there. He insists on fighting under the armor shred for whatever reason and gets killed. That was pretty sad. So now we push top lane. Try to get this tower, but the Darius is going to teleport as soon as he respawns. And then we're forced to retreat. The EQ thing doesn't really knock him up or whatever. But considering how stupidly aggro he is, I just sit by the bush, knowing he's going to try to do something. Luckily for me, the Nasus is very, Q hungry, obviously. And that kind of makes it very natural to see what he's doing. And so the Darius takes, advantage of that in his mind at least. And that allows us to bait him in and we just fight him. And he insists, again, staying in this armor shred thing. He really should not be in there because it just makes it really harder to survive against us. And we slowly kill him. In fact, he had a chance to kill the Nasus if he didn't burn his ultimate in the last fight, pointlessly. Because he wasn't going to kill Nasus in the previous one. So he just kind of wasted it. But whatever. We get the tower. Warwick comes in for some reason, thinking he can take down two meaty boys by himself, and then just slowly gets beat to death. Once again, kind of being in the little armor shred thing. You never should fight in that. So that was pretty good for top lane, and that's pretty damn big. Because like I mentioned, aside from farm, my bottom lane was playing really weird. So, I guess you can say it was a success because the farm difference with bottom lane is extraordinary. So, as now that it's entering mid game, my team is in a much more colossal advantage. We have a small gold lead, but we have a control lead, which is really big, meaning we can dive and do all sorts of shenanigans. Unfortunately, in that case, the Nasus dies without minions and he dies just going for the tower. And then I'm trapped. And there's nothing I can do about it. And then Darius pushes me and I'm thinking, hey, my teammates would come and help me, which is the only reason I kept fighting instead of trying to EQ away. But no, they were trapped too, and I don't know why I tried to survive that, and then I die really pathetically. Yeah, poor me. But either way, that's just still good. We have a definite lead, and our farm lead, or at least for bottom lane, for who really matters right now, is disgusting. Jungle lead, whatever. I have more kills and more general sexiness, so I think I'm the real winner here. So yeah, just constantly clearing. Like I said, I'm going to be going with damage, black cleaver, slight bruiserness, mostly whatever. And every fight from now on is just going to turn really bad for the enemy team because we kind of already dominated the early game, and our most important people have some kills on them. Well, except Ari, but Ari is Ari. She'll do things. She'll charm people to death. So yeah, and this is one of those kind of games that some people will say, "Oh, it's a snowball or whatever," but no, it really isn't. You should see if you look at it in all aspects from the beginning. It kind of fell on the upon the enemy team to have tried to do something with the Warwick and allow us to or prevent me from helping the Nasus to make sure that Darius's weird aggro pushes did actually meant something, but they didn't. So now they're gonna suffer for that. And I know I thought I could execute the Ezreal with an EQ ultimate, but nah, it just got me killed. That was pretty sad to see, I know. But yeah, at this point, the enemy team is a little bit on the ropes. CS wise, like I said, is really good on the Kai'Sa. The Ahri is catching up, but on the rest of us, it's a little bit lackluster. But considering the enemy teams is also pretty poor, it's a big deal. So yay, I guess. Black Cleaver. I forgot what the next item was. Yeah, I think either it was dead. I think it was Dead Man's Blade, just to make more Bruiser-esque. I guess I really didn't go too much damage. Hey, this video was recorded a little while ago. Anyways, we go for the Inferno, easily get it, and the enemy team is a little bit too close, but, they back off, they scatter, and we don't go. Unfortunately for Warwick, he's still a little too close. At this point, I think the enemy team was suffering heavily from communication issues, but during the game, they weren't really talking in all chat, so I can't really comment on that. Now, here's probably the biggest weakness my team has, sieging, because if we get close, we'll get pulled and pretty much destroyed. I throw my body in there, seeing if I could achieve something, and I almost killed the Darius, but it comes to no end. The really good pull from the Pyke pretty much got 3 of us killed, so that's pretty bad. But unfortunately for the enemy team, they also suck at pushing, so they really can't take too much of advantage of this. They have the Ezreal, but again, just one champion isn't always the biggest deal when it comes to pushing, except for like a Sivir. My Kai'Sa, though, is pretty disgustingly strong now. If it comes to a team fight, she'll probably decimate everybody, except if she gets jumped by Warwick and then he burns everything to try to get her, and then still doesn't actually kill her. And then we give chase. Nothing really comes of that, but it gives you a little bit of an example. This Warwick got really greedy on that and got himself killed, but I guess the Kai'Sa is a little bit more worth it. I smote him, but I think the Ahri still got it with a red buff. So that's kind of sad for me. Either way. Sorry. Gotta clear my throat a little bit. Either way, I remember that. My item was actually, I forgot the goddamn thing already. Guardian Angel, there we go. The Guardian Angel sword, or whatever the thing is called now. Just so I can, go in a little bit crazy and get in the middle of all these higher damage enemies and not die. Sorry, it's just having to concentrate a lot on my breathing makes me a little bit confused as to what I'm trying to remember. But, hey. So it's not all that bad. Either way, a really giant melee kind of occurs and a lot of my teammates and the enemy team dies. But as you can see now, the Kai'Sa is just kind of starting to pop off. Or she already popped off and is now actually getting a chance to murder people. So I'm going to do my very best to protect her and to at least, help or annihilate someone. All I got to do is EQ somebody important and they'll die. Yeah, so protect her. If there's a chance, maybe turret dive this Darius. That's the whole big deal. They teleport in and they give some really awkward chase, thinking that I don't know what he thought he was gonna do. So we just waltz off by our little lonesome. So yeah, it's pretty grim on the enemy team side now. I wait a little bit while, see if I could grab somebody. No. At this point, it's just sort of whoever gets the right initiation will probably win. In this case, they get some really awkward initiation, and then just Darius gets himself killed because he was too aggro. And now a lot of them are trapped in my ultimate, and then just pretty much getting free blasted by the rest of my team. I throw my flag just to make sure I get all the assists I can get because, yeah, that's I'm helping. So yeah, we wipe out 4 of them, and we lose Thresh, and then we just push for pretty much the win at this point. Again, the Kaiser, and I guess, yeah, the Kaiser mostly, is reached critical limit. The Nasus isn't the biggest deal because I forgot. I think I checked his CS siphoning strike every now and then, and it wasn't really that high. He was mostly farming with his E because he was super afraid of the Darius. So we're mostly relying on Kaiser, but luckily the enemy team, except with a good Warwick ultimate, really can't do very much to her. So, and now that I have my Guardian Angel, I can be a little bit more reckless and putting myself up in the front. Go in. I actually missed the EQ on the Warwick, but it doesn't matter. He got pretty much left of his own, and he got killed. Nasus is raid boss tanking the enemy team, and ends up scaring a few of them away into getting themselves killed. So we just pretty much wipe the floor with all of them. Pyke runs away and survives somehow. The rest of us, instead of getting fully dragon, we just decide let's push for the win. We still get the dragon obviously, but with that we just go for the Nexus. Pyke is here being the bravest man he can be, and that's not a sarcasm. That's pretty he tried his best there. Darius comes in being super reckless again and getting CC down and killed. I get shot down. Ezreal fights the rest of my teammates back, and then he gets destroyed too. No, he eventually will get destroyed. And then Kassadin tried his very best to escape, but he gets shot down like a degenerate in the streets. And with that, that's the game. Hooray! Hooray for the season ending. Did you get the rank you wanted at the end? Hopefully. Hopefully you guys don't mind the fact that we're not getting borders. And if you liked this video, remember to give it a like. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure to hit the little bell up there somewhere so you actually get notifications to my videos because YouTube and stuff.